What's up, YouTube? Today I'm doing a video, and it's how to bring back and fix Superman in Justice League. This video will contain spoilers if you haven't seen Batman v Superman. I mean, yep, it will contain spoilers, and I'll be talking about Justice League. So, yeah, if you haven't seen Batman v Superman yet, then please leave this video now. So, at the end of Batman v Superman, we think Superman is dead. But it turns out he's not dead as dirt rises from his coffin. So this is gonna, of course, gonna be a video on how I think they should bring back Superman and fix his character in Justice League. So yeah, because honestly, I am not a fan of Zack Snyder's Superman. I don't like the way it's portrayed. I don't blame Henry Cavill. I think Henry Cavill is a good actor. Keep him, of course. I think Henry Cavill is just not given the right material to work with, because I don't like Zack Snyder's interpretation of it. So I think we can change it up a bit to make it a bit more like the older Superman, like Christopher Reeves, which was fantastic. So yeah. So my problem with Superman, with Zack Snyder's Superman, is that he's just so like dark, boring, just. He always looks like depressed, and like he's always just sitting there. He's like, oh yeah, yeah. He just looks sad all the time. Like he looks negative. Like that's not what I want to see from Superman. I want to see someone that's more that's someone that's not depressed. That's like positive and just like not boring. That's actually entertaining to watch. So yeah, I think they could do this in a way that wouldn't feel forced and would make sense. So yeah. So yeah, as I said, I don't like Zack Snyder's portrayal of Superman. I think it's, boring, dark, and just depressing. So yeah. And Zack Snyder says the reason that his Superman is like that is because he wants his Superman to be more relatable. And I do not like the idea of that, because relatable, like, why would we want to, like, Superman is like. His Superman is depressed all the time. Like, we don't want to relate to a depressing Superman. We want to relate to, like, a positive Superman. Like, you think that, like, that makes us sad. Like, okay, I know some people do like Henry Cavill's interpretation of Superman. That's fine. This is just my opinion. I just don't like it, and I'm gonna go off what I think of Zack Snyder's Superman. But, yeah, of course, I think Henry Cavill's a fine actor, and I think I think he could be given a chance, and I think he could do well if they kind of change the character up a bit. And please fire Zack Snyder after Justice League. I mean, I know we have to have Zack Snyder in the Justice League here, but if Zack Snyder, if he does this, then wow, that'd be impressive. But I still think we need to get rid of him, because he's had 2 chances, and I do enjoy Man of Steel, even though I don't like Superman in that movie. And Batman v Superman is okay, but come on, you gotta do better. Like, if you're gonna direct, like, movies like that, like, you gotta do a little better than that. He's had 2 chances, so, yeah. So, yeah, I think, we need to make Superman more positive again, more, like, not boring, more entertaining to watch, I think. So, yeah, so this is kind of a pitch video. I'm gonna be kind of pitching this for Justice League, and this will also have to do with kind of like the next solo Superman movie, Man of Steel 2, whatever you want to call it, because, yeah, this is like they announced that they were gonna start like working on Man of Steel 2 or Superman solo movie or whatever. So yeah, yeah. So basically for Justice League, how I think they should bring back Superman is the villain is they basically go and recover Superman from his coffin, and basically like Superman he's out, like he is out, but obviously he's still alive. I'm thinking Superman is like in a coma. That's what I would do. And then but the villains, they basically okay, for the villain, like, it can be whoever. I really don't care who the villain is, as long as they make it good. So yeah, I just, the villain, you guys can decide in the comments which villain you'd want to see. I don't care really, but it's just I'm just talking about, this is just kind of like a format, like a formula. So yeah, so the villain basically takes Superman, and they basically, like, Superman, when he like wakes up from the coma, he's kind of unaware of himself. He's unaware of like what he is. And so the villains basically just raise Superman to be a villain. Yes, to be a villain. I think that'd be a nice route to do after all this Batman drama, all this doomsday stuff, after, like, presumably being dead. Like, I mean, I think we need to create like a more of an arc. So yes, Superman is he is a villain now, because he's been raised by these villains, and he's still unaware of what he was. Yeah, he is a villain, and a lot of people do consider Zack Snyder's Superman to be a villain, so I think it's not that big of a deal having him as a villain anyway, but yeah, he's a villain now, so like an actual villain. So basically the villains are using him as like a kind of a super weapon in a way to help defeat the Justice League. So basically the Justice League have to fight evil Superman. So yeah, I think that'd be kind of a cool way to do that. So yeah, and obviously, like, throughout the movie, like, the Justice League, when they're fighting evil Superman, like, they do try to get him to remember, like, what he was, that he wasn't evil and everything. But Superman, he's not gonna just say, oh, I'm Superman, okay, I'll be on your guys' side now. It takes a while for the movie to progress. Like, throughout the movie, he kind of starts getting like flashbacks of Superman, of himself, and then eventually, okay, I'll talk about that later, but yeah, so throughout the movie, he starts kind of getting flashbacks, and he starts thinking about who he was before this whole entire coma thing, and becoming a villain, and, yeah, I think that'd be kind of cool to just see the movie progress through that, and, yeah, I think that'd be really nice. So, yeah, I think it's cool that the Justice League, like, they have to fight evil Superman and everything, and, yeah, I think it's kind of cool to just see Superman as a villain after all of this drama and everything that's going on. I think that'd be the right way to go. So, yeah, the movie progresses with Superman, you know, getting flashbacks, of course, and, eventually, Superman, he's almost, like, fully aware of, like, what he was before, and then, eventually, like, he just starts questioning himself, and then there's just a huge conflict with evil Superman, and, like, it's just, like, then he basically just has like a breakdown, and he like lets out a nice roar and like scream, like he's like ah, you know, and eventually, and then he splits into like two faces. Like, you know that scene in Superman 3 where Superman fights himself, like the evil kind of Superman, and Clark Kent, which is like the good Superman. You know how he kind of like splits into two faces of good and evil? Well, basically that's what happens here with evil Superman and the old Superman, but that's gonna be something else, okay? So yeah, so basically he splits into two faces between evil and good, I guess. And yeah, they basically have a fight, a nice like long fight, and then eventually the good Superman like wins kind of, and yeah, he wins, and he basically just gets rid of the evil Superman personality out of him, and basically now he is good again, but he's even better than good. He's a different character than what he was in Batman v Superman and Man of Steel. He is like a completely new character now. He's way more like positive, like, you know, breaking Zod's neck. Forget about that. Move past that. This is something new. This is something very new. It's new positive route. He's gonna forget about the whole entire evil thing. This is something new, and he needs to move past that and be something. And yeah, and he needs to prove that like he's not evil by being as positive as he can, and being as like. Yeah, so basically we that's kind of the thing where it shows that we basically kind of have a classic version of Superman now. And I think it'd be cool like when good Superman defeats the evil Superman. I think it would be so awesome. Like, this would be like the best part of it all if they played the classic Superman theme. Oh my god, would that be just so amazing, because it'd just be so cool to see the Superman theme play with this Superman kind of returning. It's good Superman returning. So yeah, I think that would be so awesome, and yeah. So okay, where was I before? Okay, so yeah, Superman, basically he's a new person now. He's positive. He's like Christopher Reeve Superman. Doesn't need to be too, you know, Boy Scouty-ish or whatever. Boy Scoutish or whatever. It doesn't need to be like too much like Christopher Reeves, but kind of a mixture between, you know, good, like super, like you know, make a mix between positive Superman and just kind of, you know, like of course, like along the way he's gonna run into some faults, but overall he's positive overall. So yeah, he's like Christopher Reeve Superman, and he's like more positive, and he's less dark like Batman. And it works with Batman, though, because he's a different character, but I hate how they made Superman almost be like Batman. They almost made Superman's character into Batman. But Batman's a different character, it works with him. And Superman is a different character, and the positive side works for Superman. And yeah, we need all these characters for the Justice League to have their own different personalities, not just dark, like Zack Snyder is probably going to do, but yeah. So that's like the overall pitch thing, and then Superman, of course, in the end is just like positive. He's way better. He's more entertaining to watch with the whole positive thing. And yeah, and basically he's on the Justice League and he helps them fight the villains to end the movie. So yeah, that's basically my pitch for how to bring back and fix Superman in Justice League. I brought him back by like the resurrection thing, and I fixed his character to make it more enjoyable. So yeah, that's basically my pitch. I think it'd be kind of cool to see that. I think it'd just be really nice. So yeah, and as I said, I'd love to hear the Superman theme, like when he's fighting when he's fighting his evil self and everything, and obviously the good Superman wins. It would be so awesome to hear that main theme again, the John Williams main theme. Dun 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 dun. Yeah, you know. So that would be that'd be just the best thing ever. Probably like the best part of all of it. And then going into the future with the next Superman solo film, Man of Steel 2, whatever, please bring back like John Ottman or something. I think he did a great job with Superman Returns. We need to hear this classic Superman theme again. Now that his character is more like light and positive. Now we need the theme to go back to the old theme by John Williams, and yeah, bring back like John Ottman or something. He brought back the theme. He knows the Superman theme well, and I think he did a great job composing Superman Returns. I love Superman Returns to the soundtrack and everything, and I think he did a great job composing it and bringing back the Superman theme, which we all need. So yeah, that's basically my pitch. I think that'd be awesome. Yep, when the good Superman beats the evil Superman, we could hear that main theme again. Oh god, that'd be so awesome. And then for the next Superman solo film, we could, in the soundtrack, we could hear the main theme again. I mean, if you got John Williams who's willing to do it again, go with John Williams. That's first thing. But if I know it's a little harder to get around to him, but so if you can't get him, get John Ottman. Great choice, fine. So yeah, that's basically my pitch on how to bring back and fix Superman for Justice League. And yeah, thanks for watching this video, and bye.